name is Anna Cook, and I'm a professional learning specialist with Keep Indiana Learning. We want to thank all of you for visiting us and listening on World Read Aloud Day. This was presented to you by Lit World and Scholastic. Please check out the additional information for World Read Aloud Day, as well as some free resources at www.scholastic.com/World Read Aloud Day. Thank you again.
Hi, and welcome to the Keep Indiana Learning Read Aloud live stream for World Read Aloud Day. I'm Martie Hoofer, Content Manager at Keep Indiana Learning. Before I get started, I want to share a little bit with you about why reading is important to me. I fell in love with reading when I was in elementary school. I clearly remember my favorite special was going to the library where Mrs. Roth always had books for us to choose from. Once I could choose my own books, the first series I fell in love with was the Little House on the Prairie series, and I read the entire box set. The reason I love reading is, one, it's a hobby I can take with me anywhere. There's never a place you can't take a book. And two, it's allowed me to live multiple lives. I'll never be a little girl living on the prairie. So I get to live so many different lives by being a reader. So today I'm going to be reading from The Great Green Heist by Varian Johnson. Thank you to Scholastic for allowing us the rights to read this book. This, like I said, is The Great Green Heist by Varian Johnson. Varian Johnson is probably better known for this book, however. This is the Parker Inheritance, and you can see it won a Coretta Scott King Award a couple of years ago. And this book, I'm not going to read from it today, but it has two great main characters that go on an adventure. And I loved this story. It's a great mystery. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to like the characters. So that's the Parker Inheritance. So you get a little book talk with our read aloud today. So The Great Green Heist by Varian Johnson. And this is Jackson Greene that we're going to meet here in just a second. And you can see the subtitle of the book, Saving the School, One Con at a Time. So here we go. Chapter 1, A New Leaf. As Jackson Greene sped past the Maplewood Middle School cafeteria, his trademark red tie skewed slightly to the left, a yellow number 2 pencil balanced behind his ear, and a small spiral-bound notebook tucked in his right jacket pocket, he found himself dangerously close to sliding back into the warm confines of scheming and pranking. Ignoring his empty stomach, he wove through the mob of students at the vending machines and continued toward the exit. Maybe he could convince Mrs. Cow to let him raid the machines during study hall next period. He could even offer to share his food with her. Surely she had skipped the cafeteria's chicken enchiladas too. Or maybe he could just forge a pass from the main office, slip on out of class, pick the lock, and sneak into the teacher's lounge. He knew all about the Hershey bars Coach Rainey hid behind the stacks of dust-coated styrofoam cups, the extra ham and Swiss sandwich Mr. James, the security guard, always packed for a light afternoon snack, the box of mocha caramel cupcakes Assistant Principal Nelson brought for the Junior National Honor Society's Welcome Back Social. It would have been easy. So easy. Jackson pushed those thoughts out of his head. It was only September. He refused to jeopardize 4 months of model behavior for a quick snack, no matter how hungry he was, no matter how simple it would be. He paused at the door and glanced at the Gabby de la Cruz for President poster, her name in big, bold, loopy letters. His fingers tightened around the note in his pocket. When he reached the garden, he moved the note to his shirt pocket, then peeled off his blazer and folded it across the wooden fence. He was probably the only student at Maplewood, if not in all of Columbus, Ohio, who received notes the old-fashioned way. Most students use their cell phone to send messages, but he wasn't allowed to carry one during the school day. Yet another consequence of the Kelsey job. He pulled a pair of shears from the tool shed, then walked past red rose bushes and maroon marigolds to the far corner of the garden. He was almost finished pruning one of the peony bushes when he heard footsteps. His long brown fingers tightened around the shears. "You're late," he said. Charlie de la Cruz raised his hand to block the sun out of his eyes. "I got stuck in the newsroom." Of all the places they could meet, Charlie couldn't believe that Jackson wanted to talk out here. Surely he knew that Jackson liked the Botany Club, probably as much as Charlie enjoyed being editor of the Maplewood Herald. But it was noon, and there was not a cloud in the sky. Charlie had only been outside for a few minutes, but his eyes were already beginning to burn, and he could feel the perspiration spreading across his forehead. And of course, Jackson hadn't even broken a sweat. "Any day now," Jackson said, snipping another leaf. "You're the one who said Gabby needs help." "She does," Charlie sneered. "Stuart Hogan dropped out of the election. Keith's running for president." Jackson missed the brown leaf he was aiming for and snipped a healthy green one instead. "You sure?" "I just interviewed Naomi. She told me." Naomi Sinclair was running for student council secretary. She was also Keith Sinclair's cousin. If anyone would know, she would. "Didn't the deadline to turn in applications already pass?" Jackson asked. "According to my sources, there's some loophole that allows the school to extend the deadline in special circumstances." "That is crazy. Mr. Pritchard would never." "It wasn't his call, Jackson. From what I hear, Dr. Kelsey overruled him." Jackson looked at Charlie. "Does Gabby know?" "I don't think so. But word's beginning to spread. She'll find out soon enough." He paused to stifle another sneeze. "So what's the plan?" he asked, wiping his nose. "What should we do?" "Nothing." Jackson cut another healthy leaf, barely missing his tie. "Gabby can still win." "I don't know, Jackson. I don't trust Keith." Charlie stepped around the peony into the narrow space between the flower beds. As he knelt beside Jackson, his stomach grumbled. "There's a whole cafeteria full of food back in the building, you know." "Do I look like I have a death wish?" Charlie asked. Jackson finally smiled. "What did Naomi say? Did she give you any reason to believe that Keith was up to something?" "She didn't tell me anything concrete. It's just a hunch." He elbowed Jackson. "You're the idea guy. If you were Keith, how would you guarantee your win?" "I'd make signs and encourage students to vote." "Oh, come on. This is Keith Sinclair we're talking about. The guy you beat in the blitz at the Fitz. The guy who squealed about the midday PDA. Can't you just call it the Kelsey job?" "You're the only one who calls it that." Charlie sneezed again. "And can we talk somewhere else? My allergies are killing me out here." "It's probably the cedar trees surrounding the football field that are making you sneeze." Jackson rose from his crouch and then helped Charlie to his feet. "And I don't plan cons anymore. Period." He squeezed past Charlie and walked to the tool shed. Charlie's stomach grumbled again as he followed Jackson. "You cannot stand by and do nothing." Jackson returned the shears to the shed. "Nothing. That is exactly what I plan to do. But I'm done talking about this." He turned around and waved a gray vinyl wallet at Charlie. "Hey, look what I found." "Hey!" Charlie felt his now empty back pocket. "At least you can still make a decent pull." "There's only one person I know who can do it better." Jackson opened the wallet and turned it upside down. It was empty. Charlie shrugged. "Information doesn't come cheap, dude. You know?" Jackson pulled a few bills from his pocket and stuffed them into the wallet. "Get yourself some lunch. I'm sure you can find something in the vending machines." He tossed the wallet to Charlie, grabbed his jacket, then turned toward the building. "Wait, what about Gabby?" "You know your sister better than anyone." Jackson loosened his tie, pulling it even more to the left. "The last thing she wants is help from me." And that is chapter 1 of The Great Green Heist by Varian Johnson. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you want to go read the rest of the book. On behalf of Keep Indiana Learning, we thank you for joining us today for World Read Aloud Day. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch our upcoming live stream events. We look forward to seeing you soon at another Keep Indiana Learning event. Have a great day.